Doris Visits are back with a brand new ship tour. It's coming to the end of 2024, and we're lucky enough to have worked on 5 different ships so far this year as guest lecturers. Well, here's my new favourite ship.
So it's October, we're in the Sky Bar on deck 14. It's the observation deck. The weather's not perfect, so that's why there's a cover over the swimming pool.
So this is Cunard's new ship, new to the fleet, so there are now 4 queens. This is the Queen Anne.
Deck 14 is the sports deck, and after you've played your games, there's a nice place here to sit. If the sun were out, it would be lovely, but there's a roof over today, so at least you're not going to get wet if you want to brave the elements.
Well, we'll show you the ship from top to bottom, and as always with the more modern Doris Visits films, it's the whole ship, everything on it, and it's menued, so you can jump to the bit you want to see.
So on the top deck there's a putting green, and the holes actually seem a little bit bigger than normal.
It's a family ship, as you'll see, but lots of games for the adults too.
I'm definitely going to try this short tennis. There's even a shower area to cool down if you get too hot from your sport.
Well, we're not going to get too hot this time of the year, but trust me, we found more than enough to do without even going on deck. Let's start with the kids zone and work down.
You find the play zone on deck 12 for the children. They don't have a deck 13 on ships. Maybe they think it's unlucky.
Ships are always well designed, and this is not a new class, but it's new to Cunard, and they've made some special areas and great use of the space.
Fun fact, there are over 2,700 books in this library, so nearly enough for every person on board because the capacity is 3,000. This is where you get your crossword. So I found the book swap. So next to the library is the Commodore Club, and this is where we're coming for a drink tonight. Great view over the ocean. If you've been reading Stuart St Paul's cruise crime novels, remember Macy goes around and paints all the pianos on the ship. On every ship, no matter how big it is, you can always find a quiet little space away from everybody else if you want some privacy.
This is a great lounge, or as I call it, my office, because it's where I write my books. There's a cigar room over here on the right, so if you're not a smoker, you might want to sit the other side, because if they keep opening the door, it does creep out just a little bit.
If you're a cigar smoker, Churchill's is the place for you. It really smells strongly of cigars.
This ship would be an incredible place to have a wedding or a ceremony.
In the latest cruise crime novel, which we think is going to be entitled A Wedding, a Murder and a Cruise, not necessarily in that order, there's a wedding which would take place somewhere like this. There's a place like this on most cruise ships. And after the wedding, for the reception, you can either go out onto the deck if it's a lovely sunny day, or you can come through these double doors to the Admiral's Lounge.
If you are thinking of a wedding, and this is fantastic, and you could honeymoon anywhere in the world, contact the Cunard ceremony specialist shoreside.
I guess they would section this part of the deck off for the wedding reception, unless you have a big crowd, and then you'd need it all.
The standard wedding package has what you'd expect, but it also has a complimentary dinner for 2 in the steakhouse, which we'll show you later.
Going down onto deck 11.
Up on the right is the Sky Bar where we started, and from there we showed you the roof on the pool. So this is deck 11. It walks around the pool. Doris Visits does host a number of cruise chat groups. Please join the cruise chat group for Cunard and ask questions.
This is the grill's terrace, and it's reserved for Queen's Grill and Princess Grill guests, which we're not, sadly.
Cunard still operate a tiered system. If you're lucky enough to be a Grill's customer, then you get this slightly nicer area, which has got a little more privacy, and it sits in the middle of the ship, which means you can't actually walk through from front to back on deck 11. You need to drop down to deck 9, and that will allow you to get from the front to the back of the ship.
The grill terrace kind of separates the front of the ship from the back, so you have to go down in order to go through.
And this is the area where you'll find the big screen or the cinema.
Also, where you find the table tennis table, which is always in use.
This is the 249th ship to sail under the Cunard flag. And it definitely is a Cunard ship. It has Cunard service, Cunard excellence, and it has class. But it's contemporary. It's modern, with modern features like this wellness cafe.
Just rehydrating from the machine.
You won't get fries on deck 10 in the wellness cafe, but you can get fries in the pool grill, the Pavilion Grill, down on deck 9. So, pick a table, choose what you want to eat. Or you can walk through and get your food from the food hall. Ice creams.
One question people often ask is the ice cream free? Well, in the gelateria, it's not, but in the Artisan Foodhall, it is.
Go on, treat yourself.
I just feel like we're not on here long enough to sample all the delicious cuisine.
We also have port guide films for just about every popular cruise port in the world. So please press that subscribe button. Now, where's the free ice cream, G?
This is the free one.
Let me explain the Artisan's Foodhall for you. It is an evolution of the traditional buffet, and I like it because the food has a glass in front of it and a glass over it. No one touches it, no one breathes on it. There are 16 different food stations focusing on artisanal cooking methods and recipes from all over the world. This area is used for breakfast, lunch, tea time. There are scones, sandwiches and other little treats. And in the evening, you can come and eat your evening meal here. When the weather's good, as well as the tables and chairs either side of the ship, there is the opportunity for al fresco dining back in the pool pavilion area we've just showed you, or forward in the pool area that we're about to get to. But before we do, there are two other areas which in the evening become specialist dining areas, but during the day you can take your artisan food in there and use as a quieter area.
At the pool end of the Artisan Foodhall is the Tramonto restaurant. In the evening, it's a specialist restaurant. It serves Mediterranean food, but in the daytime, you can bring in the food from the Artisan Foodhall. On the opposite side is the Aranya restaurant, which in the evening does Indian food, but again, in the daytime, you can bring in your food from the food hall.
These two alternative dining areas do have a supplementary cost.
Just outside the Artisan Foodhall is the Panorama Pool Club, so you can walk through and have a swim or go in the hot tub.
Imagine this deck for al fresco dining in the evening when weather's great. As well as taking your food from the Artisan Foodhall, there are two more specialist dining areas. There's one up there on deck 10, see it here just below me on the right, and the other one's over on the left-hand side. Both of these restaurants are on deck 10. The easiest way to make a reservation for your alternative dining is by using your Cunard app. On the right-hand side, Sir Samuel's Steakhouse. And on the left, something totally different. The Ajiwa Japanese restaurant. Japanese cuisine, influenced by the Four Seasons at Ajiwa, whose name means harmony of flavors. I can recommend the chef's tasting menu for an extra special evening. Now, sharing deck 10 with the alfresco restaurants and the sun chairs and sun loungers, basking under that iconic red and black Cunard funnel, and also the relaxing chairs, which are very, very stylish, is something unusual and new to Cunard. GB Archery, which is the national governing body for archery, have been teaching our hosts how to fire arrows properly, and they're prepared to teach you. Time to go inside and down to the main 3 decks.
So this is the Royal Court Theatre and it has about 835 seats. Beautiful theatre.
As well as this cruise giving me my new favourite ship, I have a new favourite cabaret act. Bernie Flint is the funniest act I have ever seen. Okay, there's me doing my daytime lecture, talking about my film career and my books.
You can access the beauty salon from the second deck. There's the theatre, and the pub is just around the corner. This is the Golden Lion pub. It's on deck 2. It's not necessary to wear formal dress here, it's optional. They have bingo, they have karaoke, and much, much more. You can also eat your lunch here if you want to.
The layout of these entertainment areas is pretty amazing.
Just past the pub is the Bright Light Society, where you can take part in an immersive interactive show called Noir, and it's very popular.
An evening of burlesque dance and immersive theatre.
Still on deck 2, this is the Queen's Room, and this almost looks like it's another atrium.
This is a very clever space. This ballroom has a balcony around the top, rather like the Queen Victoria does. But as well as being a ballroom, as it's in the round, it can transform to having a club feel. So 1 minute you're having silver service, scones, teas and sandwiches, and another moment there's an aerial act hanging from the ceiling and doing something completely different.
This is where you book your future cruises, and over here is where you book your shore experiences. If there's a queue, do remember you can book using these screens. Moving on along deck 2, there's the chart room. It's quite quiet in here during the day, so it's a great place to come and sit and read.
The captain, officers and bellhop uniforms on board Queen Anne were designed for Cunard by Catherine Sargent, the UK's first female master tailor.
This is the atrium.
Queen Victoria has a gin bar, but Queen Anne has 50 different rums on board from all over the world, and they're available in the cabana.
This is the Britannia Club restaurant. It's a bit like the restaurant on the Queen Victoria in the atrium.
All guests are invited to tea in the Britannia Club, but you can also have scone and tea inside the Queen's Room in the ballroom, or upstairs in the food hall. Children's specialty is more fish fingers and baked beans, but that's in the food hall.
Clarendon Fine Art Gallery is like on the Queen Mary 2 down a corridor by the side of a restaurant. As it's October coming up to Halloween, I thought I'd wear my witchy dress.
Queen Anne is an arty ship. 3,000 artists and designers have been involved in making the different artworks, over 500 framing methods, and there are 4,300 pieces on board.
This is the Britannia Restaurant where we have our dinner, and look how beautiful it is.
The Queen Anne is pleased to have a partnership with Michelin-starred chef Michel Albert Roux. He creates exciting menus and has designed an exclusive celebratory menu for the gala evenings.
And everyone asks where the toilet is, and it's through here and turn right. There you go. Deck 3 is where you'll find the photography centre.
The Queen Anne is a family ship with a baby zone, play zone, kids zone and a teen zone, and a night nursery for children up to 2 years old.
Still on deck 3, the Carinthia Lounge has coffee, port and cheese. I'll be here after dinner.
During the day, this lounge is a very nice cafe, offering some exquisite open sandwiches.
Deck 3 atrium also means shops.
If you're looking to see what the cabins look like on the Queen Anne, we've put it up as a separate video, so you will find it on this channel, as you will a lot of other ship tours. Hopefully, you'll find the ship that suits you.
Between the shops, you might be asking, why is there a sink? I know I was. It's for specialist beauty presentations. This is where you can spend a fortune. More shopping on deck 3. Oh, and guess what I've seen over here? Cruise Ship Heist by Stuart St Paul.
That is the Insight Speakers table.
This is the Cunard Collection. I haven't got a teddy bear yet. Very soft. No?
All right.
Hi. All the maps are by the lift, so you know where you are. And on this deck is room 1840. It's a lovely bar and casino. If you like a little bit of game playing, bit of gambling. I don't know how these machines work. Still on deck 3 in the casino, there's a great bar with sports screens.
Take 2. Well, oh, survived. The lobby is another area that changes its face to fit the function, but it's quiet and peaceful. The drawing room in particular is a great place to sit and read or research or work. But on a day when you stop at a port, it can be full of people waiting to go out on excursions, meeting coaches and meeting their guides. On a quiet day, the other side of the drawing room you'll find the games room, chess sets and jigsaws. This one of the Tower of London reminded me that we have a video of the Tower of London opening for a cruise ship to go through. We also take a look at the London docks and things to do in London, as well as the port guides all over the world. So do please subscribe to Doris Visits. Hit that subscribe button.
The exclusive wellness suite is definitely worth a visit. It was one of my highlights. It has 9 treatment rooms, a well-equipped gym with state-of-the-art equipment to work off the pounds while you're admiring the stunning views. It has a relaxing spa with a thermal pool. There's a traditional Finnish sauna. And next to that is a Himalayan salt sauna where you're supposed to sit with your back against the salt to aid your detox. If you're brave, like my friend Sue, you then pour a bucket of cold water over your head. There's a cold room for after the steam room and the sauna. They've thought of everything. After that, it's time to relax and have a snooze or read a book. It really is a wonderful experience. There's cucumber and orange water, ordinary water. You can just sit down and relax. They're a really well-equipped beauty salon. There are lots of treatments available, including hair, nails and facials. A complete treat.
Listen, we love all ships, there's no question about that, and we get to work on them all, which is really fantastic. But this ship, for me, took the #1 spot. The Queen Anne is a great ship. If you can, read my book Cruise Ship Heist. It's actually free as an audio book on this channel, but whichever way you take it, please review it. Thank you.